Lanistia's not a Yuncti, she's been tested and she passed the test. And then not 2 minutes later, Emissa was like, but I can help you pass the test, so don't worry about it. We can cheat. So how do we know that Lanistia didn't cheat? Who is actually failing blood tests? Are they doing blood? Is there any point in them doing these blood tests? Or do people know, do the Yuncti know that they can just cheat?
Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy,
The husband and wife podcast talking all things fantasy fiction.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we will continue our read-along of The Strength of the Few with the chapters 14 to 24. And just a heads up, we might use strong language and explore adult themes.
You can rest easy though that there will be no spoilers from beyond chapter 24. Consider us your fantasy buddy readers. Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of it. It helps more fantasy lovers find us, and it's one of the easiest ways to support what we do. A quick tap and you've made our day.
Okay then, let's dive into...
Wait, what just happened? So we'll start this week in Res, where Lanistia, imprisoned in a high-security Katen jail, tells Vis that her attack on him wasn't actually her, which honestly is becoming a bit of a theme in his life. Touch one ancient artifact, and suddenly everyone's got a mysterious blackout memory and a Latin catchphrase. In her case, she remembers being in the same ruins Vis explored and reciting, "War is better than an unhappy peace," which is not comforting. Vis then finds Reliquia staring down a woman trapped in a sapper, and she basically says, "Fix this with Lanistia or I will personally ruin your week." As he leaves, Emissa appears like a guilt-ridden jump scare. She confesses that she stabbed him during the Iudicium because Viridius convinced her he was basically a walking puppet. She thought he was already gone. To make amends, she offers to help him talk to a captured Anguis and warns him about a blood test that will expose his altered will. She offers to hide it for him. He says no, because he's learned the hard way that letting Emissa hold anything sharp or important ends badly. Instead, he goes to Edin, who agrees to hold his will. Oh, and to blackmail a member of the Senate. Vis, now officially Catenicus, passes his blood test thanks to Aidin and receives his pyramid of governance subordinates, including Livia, Calidus's little sister, who hates him with the fiery passion of someone who's rehearsed her insults in the mirror. The Anguis man appears, teaches him about adoption, which is absorbing will from objects and people, and tells him to be ready for the Festival of Platuna in 5 months. He also promises a list of senators who've been a little bit naughty. After a cryptic quiz, alongside a spot of foundation, Catenicus takes the placement exam for governance and religion students. He uses adoption subtly to compensate for his missing arm, impressing the crowd without revealing his new abilities. Equa admits she lost Calidus's tracker while running from the Anguis. Catenicus reassures her, then returns to the exam. Over in Iudicium, Vis trains with Searaw, learning to control the Yunctus and memorizing Duat's layout like he's prepping for the world's most stressful escape room. He needs a Gleaner to get inside, but he also needs to survive the Mutalis, something only the Synchronous can handle. Searaw can't help because his own copies died too quickly. When Vis tries to approach the Mutalis door, Nofrit stops him with an extremely reassuring warning that opening it will unleash the end of all things. Vis decides maybe he'll circle back to that later. Gleaners attack Kabir. Vis and Searaw hide, then use the chaos to capture one Gleaner. Vis co-opts its will and orders it to kill him convincingly so that he can be carried into Duat with the other bodies. The Viteria and Scarabs will keep him alive as long as the Gleaner doesn't accidentally stab him in the heart. No pressure. Meanwhile, in Lucium, Vis, now going by Deaglan, is living his best accidental farmhand life. Gleaner teaches him about the local kings and High King and the general political vibes of the place. Then one night, after the omen of the Alupai showing up, 3 men swing by, accusing him of stealing the staff. He grabs the staff for protection, which does not help his case. They drag him to King Ronan, where Deaglan avoids execution by pledging fealty on the spot. This impresses no one, especially the king's champion, who immediately challenges him to a duel, because of course he does.
Well, finally we start to see some movement in this other round, and Lucium and Overtian as well.
Well, yeah, but I feel like we had more time in Res this week.
Yes,
I was loving it. I was like eating it up. This week, I have got more and more theories. And I feel like some of the theories we talked about last week were getting a bit more solidified. Not proved yet, but a little bit more solidified. So with that in mind, let's talk about confirmed, cursed, or completely unhinged. The part of the show where we either get to bank those bragging rights or have a good old laugh at ourselves for being way too wild with our previous theories. So what do we have this week?
So I think we have a couple of things that we have correctly. So first one was that Lani, she would be in a lot of trouble because of this. I specifically said that she will end in a sapper, and at the moment it looks like that's gonna be her destiny.
I think you're gonna be wrong. I don't think she will end up in a sapper. I think this will stop that from happening.
Yes, well, that is the hope. But at the moment, officially, she will end.
Yeah, but you can't claim that. You can't claim that. She's in a prison.
She's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
She's in prison right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the other one, the Emissa, will talk to this, and she will give an excuse that it will give a good reason that why she did this. And I think she proved that she knows more than even Viz knew at that time. And there was a perfect reason why she attacked.
Yeah.
He's still not convinced, he believes her, but at the same time, he's still feeling.
He learned some stuff, didn't he? He learned a lot of stuff from Emissa. We can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
I don't think anything was confirmed, and so again, kind of like yours, I can't claim it, but Lanistia basically told him that he could use will to replicate an arm, whether that's a mechanical arm or whether that's just using the will around him to recreate what an arm would be able to do. I feel like he couldn't concentrate on anything else once she told him that, and it was a bit eye-opening. So I think we're definitely going to get that.
Yes, I think it's not that surprising having in consideration that she was basically able to see using the wheel. So why not using something either for an arm that was going to work as a robot arm, fueling by wheel, or maybe he will be able to use the wheel to grab stuff for her an invisible arm. Yeah,
that's what we talked about last week. I think it's one of them. I'm erring at the moment on some kind of mechanical arm because it would be really cool, but
yeah, I really am hoping for a mechanical arm, and he's like a cyborg basically.
Yeah. I think we said some other things like that he would seed or he would receive will for the first time. Mm-hmm. We did some boring predictions, and obviously they were right, but
yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the main topics this week in screaming, crying, throwing swords. So by now, you'll all know that this is the part of the show where we talk about how we're feeling, what we think about the book, and ask any questions we have about the characters and the plot from this week's read-along. So how are you feeling this week?
So I'm really excited about what's going on in Overtian. We start to see more stuff that's going on, more powers that Viz has as well. So I'm really enjoying that part of the story as well. At the beginning, what it was last week, I still what's going on here, trying to, absorb everything. But now I'm feeling this is going to something really, really good. Going to this pyramid to see what is inside. So I can't wait to see what is there.
Yeah, I came in after reading the bit where he just told Cyril his plan about getting the Gleaner to stab him and then carry him almost dead into the Duat. And I was like, okay, well, his plan is insane. And you'd already read that part before me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really intrigued by Lucium. I we didn't get a lot this week. So I'm kind of the opposite as you. I'm finding Iudicium. I like Iudicium because I like Zero.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be there as much this week. I wanted to be in Lucium. I'm really, really fascinated by the way that we don't know how the will works in Lucium. I feel like it's a bit more maybe like adoption. Anyway, I've got thoughts about it. We'll talk about that later. But that's the bit I'm most intrigued about. I could see that it was being, and this is maybe something for the previous confirmed segment, but it feels more Celtic. The names are starting to be Celtic. The kind of customs are starting to be a bit Celtic. So I feel like we were right in our assumption that Iudicium is like Egypt, Res is like Rome.
Yeah.
And Lucium is somewhere Celtic. Yeah, I'm still finding it a little bit confusing going between, but I loved the Res storyline this week.
Yes. I still like thinking like in what moment these three stories going to start to like convert and start to join to maybe, I don't know if I was saying before, we're going to have like a Spider-Man moment where all the villains are going to be together, or just something really bad is going to happen, or something really good. I don't know yet. And then all the three rounds will be turned just one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've got a feeling that might happen in the next book. Because, yeah, I'd imagine loads of things are still left open in this one. Otherwise, there'd be nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the other book is the one who he calls the Justice of the One, I think. So maybe the one could be as well just one round.
Yeah, or
together.
Yeah.
It used to be one
Or
before.
the one person
Yeah.
that then becomes one again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your favourite character this week?
Oh, definitely Zero. Because he has been waiting in this place for like 7 years. This is the key to finish everything. He is the key to like end this bad guy that is in this world. And he is so patient. He is just like trying to give him the best to this so he can accomplish his mission. And I get it as well because yes, it's the only shot that they have, so need to make sure that it counts. So even when he might feel like he really wants to finish all of this, maybe he wants to go back to rest, have like his life back, he's still just like taking it slow.
Well, he doesn't feel like he can. He doesn't feel like there is a way back. He told Rez there was no way back, didn't he?
Yes, but I don't know if I maybe end everything, then like I said before, all the realms going to be one again, and then we'll see that all these places are in the same world, but like really far away. So instead to be like completely different realms, gonna be like different continents or different countries in the same realm.
Yeah, well, maybe.
What about you?
Yeah, Zero, I think, was my shout last week as well. He's like becoming a really cool character.
Yeah.
I like Livia this week. I think she's going to be really important to Vis.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's in his pyramid, but she's reluctantly there. She doesn't really like him. And she loved her brother so much. And she kind of has the same issue that Indol has. Is it Indol? Is it Iroh? I think it's Indol, isn't it? I get those two mixed up. Where she says, what's the point in a hero if they don't save the people you love?
All right.
And it was the guy with the little sister who died at the Naumachia. I like that as a theme, that they don't support the hero because he didn't save the ones that they loved.
Yes. I really like her as well, and for all the people who have read the Imperium series, it reminds me a little bit the situation between Sloane and Violet. Sloane didn't like Violet, was blaming her for a lot of stuff they're not going to say in case maybe some people haven't read it, but very similar situation here.
This kind of is to blame because he wouldn't have been in the Iudicium if Vis hadn't selected him to be there. So yeah, probably even bigger blame.
Yeah.
Okay, what were the Ovek or Rotting Gods moments you wanted to talk about this week?
So you mentioned it before, but I think definitely is something that it needs to be mentioned in this section, and is Vis asking to the Gleaner to stab him then it looks like he is dead, but without killing him.
Yeah, that was insane. So let's talk through it. They were the what happened in Iudicium. They were kind of sat watching Duat, the giant black pyramid, and they see the little creatures, Gleaners, come out, and there's like a leader, and then they see them going back in afterwards. They go out on missions and then they come back in. They also take the bodies back to the pyramid, don't they?
Yes.
To become Yunkti.
Yes.
So this is where the plan is brewing. And then when the Gleaners attack later, that is so tense, isn't it? That they're checking each of the crypts for the rebels. They know that they're there. And then Vis all of a sudden is like, right, I've got to play dead. I've got to get back. I've got to get back to Duat, and that's the only way that I'm going to get in. And that is happening now. So in the next set of chapters, that's going to be really intense.
Yes.
It's going to be, really stressful reading that.
Do
you think he's going to pass out? He's definitely going to pass out, isn't he?
That's typical. I was outside and then all went black and then...
We did say we were going to have a pass out counter. It happened this time, didn't it?
Well, it happened in Lucium. It happened there already. Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait to see what does this pyramid look like inside, and if we finally going to meet this car that's going to be dead.
Really cool. We learned about the Gleaners being able to light up their sword arms, didn't we? So they're illuminated and hot. Anything else?
So finally we see Vis getting the wheel from the fume from his pyramid, and the first thing that caught my attention is when he said that he was feeling tired, but then at the moment when he started to receive this wheel, then he started to feel as well he feel refreshed, or feel again full of energy. And I take that feel when you take a really nice coffee, then just boom, wake you up, and then you feel you're able to eat the world.
Yeah. Eat the world.
Is that
not a saying? Is that a saying in Spanish?
Yeah,
eat the world, take on the world. Okay.
Not conquer the world. It's just you are full of energy and you just want to
Do you say come el mundo?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, no, not in English. Anyway, it's funny. I think that was a really, really, I don't know, made me feel a bit sick. And it was supposed to be disgusting. He was thinking his whole life that it would feel disgusting, but actually it feels powerful, and it made me feel a bit sick. It was how easy he's taken to that. And you know that he's trying to do it for a good reason, but he could lose himself quite easily.
He was struggling with the idea that everything feels really easy now. It looks better doing this thing, and that's the part that for him maybe he feel maybe bad with himself. Yeah,
but I think he might find a better way, because the adoption takes it from the air. It doesn't, and from objects. It doesn't take it from people. So I think that's going to be his way of justifying it going forward. So there's a few things I just wanted to mention. I don't know that there was, apart from the bits that you've mentioned, I don't know that there was any shocking moments. Some things that C-Raw said, he said you would know if your copy died in another world. You know immediately, because you get this depression and you don't want to wake up, and it feels like a part of you has been ripped away. I thought that was interesting, because that was a question that we'd asked previously, would he know if anything happened to him? Turns out you do.
Yes.
And then Emissa's story. So she thought that he was Yunkti, which is why she pushed him off the tower with a sharp, pointy object. And she is in military. So we find out that she is military's top graduate. So she's definitely still in military. But she is working with Viridius, kind of reluctantly. Not, because she doesn't immediately answer. When he says, are you doing it voluntarily? But Viridius is spent time on her. He spent time teaching her about the Yunkti, teaching her to recognize them. This is where we learn there are more Yunkti around in disguise, just pretending to be their former selves. Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's her whole story.
I was thinking that maybe it was Veridio the one who forced her to be a military because he needs a spy or he needs maybe some stuff that only somebody from military can grant him or can give him. So it's how it feels at this point. And more when she said that, that she kind of like chose to be there or not like properly, like she's doing it by herself.
Yeah, but then you've got she knew that Indol was going to defect to religion. And he says he didn't tell her. So she must have found that out from Viridius. So there's a real level of trust there, isn't there? Viridius really trusts her. Obviously not enough to tell her everything.
I still think that Emissa is able to do something maybe with water, like a potion or something, and take the truth from the people without they even realizing.
Yeah.
I think she did that for this, the first time that he visited the academy, and I think maybe
we still don't know what he said, though.
No, that's still a mystery. Like, he says something, but for Viridius was really clear that he knew what was the reason for this being there. So maybe that's what exactly Emissa told him. This is what he told me that he's doing here.
He's there to investigate Zero.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll find that out later. You could tell it's eating her up. I think she is going to regain his trust when he goes back to talk to Viridius. I guess my question is, like, they must have quite a lot of freedom still, because she can just go off and work with Viridius, even though she's supposed to be with military. Like, what is her excuse? Why is she able to go back to Solivargus all the time? It feels a bit strange. Maybe when she's been placed, she won't be able to.
Yeah.
We'll see. We also learnt about Edin's dad and how Edin's tribe knew about the cataclysm, and they believed that the cataclysm was a cycle and that it happens over and over again. And Viridius was really interested in learning about that because he thinks that the tribe hold the key. I don't think that's the last we're going to hear about this.
No, they definitely looks like they have some information, like some cultures and all around the world. They have some information about stars or maybe
like
events that happen. Yeah, like it's in the culture, but some stuff from that, maybe legends or stories is related to facts or some stuff that at the time they couldn't explain it, and then they just given this fantasy like explanation.
Yeah, well, you find that, don't you, in like different ancient civilizations in different places around the globe all have very similar history.
Yes.
And you know that like Judaism, Christianity and Islam all rooted in the same stories, the same people, the same angels, the same prophets. They're just different words for the same thing. And then there's very subtle differences which like caused a big break of the three religions. But they're kind of all rooted in similar things, which makes you think like that there's got to be some truth there. There's got to be, because so many people in different places talk about the same things. Just fascinating.
I was never meant to love a human. But then, I saw her. I wasn't supposed to touch that fruit, but I took it, and I ate it. I was the most loyal of angels, until I lost her. Now they call me the devil, and I'll burn heaven itself before I lose her again.
Memoirs of Luzbel, a dark fantasy novel. Book 1 of the Luzbel saga. Now available on Amazon.
Yeah, I thought so one of the bits that made me feel a bit creeped out was the Alupi in Lucium, I have got thoughts about this.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if now's the right time or whether in my theories, but it's quite clear that they are from Lucium. And they seem to have like leaked out onto Solovargus. They are only in Solovargus, apparently. But we know that there has been one other at least elsewhere on the continent. And yeah, I think that is mega important.
Yes, I found it weird as well when they were talking about alupais, and I was thinking, oh, so there are alupais in this realm as well.
I think they came from there, but they don't attack there.
No.
And it feels like maybe because they've got everything they need in Lucium. So maybe they are fed, or maybe they can take the will or take the magic and they are sustained. So they don't hunt, but they do hunt in Solovargus, or they're said to, but they didn't hunt Vis.
Oh, the puppy.
Yeah, but they're said to hunt. And maybe it's because they're doing something. They're maybe operating in the same way that, like, the Yuncti are supposed to, but this one didn't.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe somebody put those alupais in the island, Solobagos, to maybe just kill everything that it moves there. So if there's any Yunctis trying to escape or something, they just being attacked, trying to like control.
I think that Vis's dad has something to do with the fact that they're there. Because Vis's sister had one in Seuss. How did she get one?
True.
And he literally says they are only supposed to be on Solovargus. But in the last book, we learnt that his sister had one.
Yeah.
There's definitely linked to Vis's dad, which makes me think Vis's dad is in Lucium. Whether he has Car, I don't know. But he is clearly in I think he is in 3 places. I think he visited Vis in real life in that hospital wing and brought the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in Lucium because he even gave his name this week. He even said, I am Deaglan Cristobal. And he gave his name in Lucium to make us think about his dad. It's just so much foreshadowing that his dad is somewhere in Lucium.
Yeah.
And there's something about these alupi. I'm so bad at that. Alupi. There's something about the alupi.
Yeah.
But they were creepy. That it made me shiver a little bit when they were just watching. And then they had to make a sacrifice to the gods or the people that were in charge. Mm-hmm. We know very little about that. I just think that the will is being stolen from the people. I think it's adoption. Mm. Anyway, that's another hint that his dad is there.
Yeah, that's still the game. The sign that his dad's gonna be either an Overtian or a Lucian, and it's gonna be an important character.
Yeah, he's either gonna be Car, isn't he, or he's gonna be one of the ones that tried to stop it. And I think he synchronized, and I think they knew about it, and they went and killed him.
Yeah,
on Seuss.
I really like the idea that Car is his father because he's supposed to kill Car. So
I know.
What's going to happen if he found out that it's his father?
I am your father.
Yeah, going to have another moment like that.
Yeah. I at the moment, I'm feeling more like his Car than I did last week, but I'm still not convinced. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of hoping that Car is someone we don't know.
Yeah.
But I definitely think we are going to see Vis's dad.
Well, to be honest, when I was thinking about this, it was more for me as a writer, like what would be like the plot twist or what would be something really interesting here to put. Not because I have proofs or I have too many things going on.
I think there are
some links here, yeah.
Definitely the alupi. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Definitely the alupi. That was weird. And they sacrificed this bowl. So they don't sacrifice food. I was getting worried about human sacrifice. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, well, I thought they will sacrifice like an animal or something. Yeah.
But they didn't. They just sacrificed like a really expensive fruit bowl. Mm. Interesting. Okay, is there anything you're struggling with?
Well, yeah, that is when he's in the test and he needs to throw this rock. So I wasn't sure what he was doing there because at the beginning, I was thinking that he was kind of like imbuing the rock, so it was like less heavy, or he could control it better, so he could throw it like harder or far away. But when you were talking before that he was doing this new thing, adoption, so I wasn't sure, like, okay, so it was mentioned once that something like that's possible, and now he's just like that, he's able to do it.
I think so. I think he tried it and he did it. So I read it 3 times because I wasn't sure as well. So this is one of the things I was struggling with. But it was the fact that he said something like, it's not like they would, I could tell them what I did, but it's not like they would believe me anyway. And then he was like, oh, and it would definitely be cheating. Mm-hmm. So if it was just imbuing it with normal will from his pyramid, which is what he was supposed to do, I think.
I think he's supposed to use the will to, with his own body, throw it, but not like imbuing
just
or affecting the rock. Yes.
Yeah. So he managed to move it, but he made it look like, and he did the trajectory, but it's still, he was taking it from the air, I think, or he was taking it from the rock, from the object. I don't know exactly how it works, but on the 3rd read, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is adoption just because of what he said. It's not like they would believe me anyway, because nobody's supposed to know that exists. That was another reason why I thought it was linked to his dad, because it was like, providing everything's going well in Lucium, you should be able to do it, which means that Lucium, that's the way that the will works in Lucium. And I thought there was something weird about a connection with his dad. But I think my theory about Lucium is that the will comes from, that's how you get it. You get it from around, and only the druids know how to do it, or only them are allowed to do it, and that's why they have like black eyes when they're but nobody else knows, and it's being kept. The secrets are being kept, and that's why they're revered. So it's not like the hierarchy where everyone's aware of what happens, and if you don't conform, you go to the sapper or whatever. It's more that they do it and they don't tell the people.
Yeah, definitely start to look more like Jedis, because they are like these like warriors that everyone respect, everyone fear, or just love as well, because they do.
And they know the force. They can manipulate the force. It's just will.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing that I'm struggling a little bit, because we find out in these chapters that the will is a gift. It's something that nobody can take you away from you. It's something that you give to the person. But if this is how it works, so how the sappers can get the will from the people if the people are not giving it to the sappers? Because
you bought the propaganda. You bought the propaganda. That's just hierarchy propaganda. Mm-hmm. It's not a gift. You can, that's what they tell you. But what we learned from Scarface, we still don't have a name for him, do we? No,
still is Scarface.
Yeah, what we learned from Scarface is that you can actually take the will. You can take the will from around you. And we know that sappers can take the will. And we know that you can be coerced into giving it. You can be forced into giving it. That is taking it. Mm-hmm. So it's just a massive lie. So I think that, you probably don't need to struggle with that. It's just that it's a lie.
All right.
I think the sappers are actually from Lucium. Mm-hmm. I was thinking they were from Iudicium, but Iudicium, nobody knows where the will comes from, do they?
Yeah.
In Iudicium. I think the will goes to Iudicium, but I think the technology of a sapper is possibly similar to the staff, but it doesn't take it just from the person that's touching it. It takes it from around. Yeah. So I feel like there's some link there between Lucium, where nobody's giving it, you're just taking it, you're just collecting it. So I think it's a Lucium technology, but that's my theory. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll actually learn it. Yeah. And I just believe that because we know that the different technology, like the Vitarium in Res, comes from Iudicium. I'm wondering if the sappers are the thing that comes from Lucium. I've put a lot of thought into this, so if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Wasted my time. Yeah, the only thing that I was a little bit confused about, and I need to probably read this again, this bit, when he goes into his foundation match, which is the first part, the blood test and everything, he talks about having a burn on his hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets healed as well, I think, at some
Just
point.
like bandaged it up. Like, what is that from?
I don't know. I thought it was something that he was doing with Eden when he was given him the wheel. But I don't know if by doing that, because we saw already how it works when
You just
he was
hold
given.
hands.
Yeah,
don't you?
exactly. So why it will get burned?
I don't know. I need to read it again. Or just, if anybody knows, maybe you could just put it in the comments. What was that about?
Yeah. So I have one question, and it's because I don't know if I understood properly how it works this like Minecraft with the Gleaners. So he is controlling one of them, and then he's asking if he's still connected with the other Gleaners, and the Gleaners say yes. So how is possible that he can control this Gleaner that way without the other Gleaners knowing it? And when it's like all connected, because for me what it makes sense is that this will be like connected to all of them or none of them, because maybe the other ones, they will realize that something's going on with the other one because they're supposed to be connected.
I think that's the risk, isn't it? That so I think they're individuals, but they can communicate and they can share. They're like a collective communication channel. I think the way that I thought about it was that if the other one was conscious and knew that it was happening, it would be able to communicate with the others and say, something's going on here, something's weird. But otherwise, it can operate on its own accord. It's only like to communicate with each other. So this should be able to make it communicate with the others, but it wouldn't necessarily flag if anything was wrong.
Yeah, so it's kind of maybe like a B, I guess, that everyone is like synchronized, that everyone knows where to go, how to do it, but they're individuals, I guess.
Yeah, and I kind of just see it as like a massive WhatsApp group where they can communicate with each other. Everyone can see what everybody's saying to each other.
Yeah.
But they're individual people, just one Gleaners. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. That's what I thought. Let's keep reading and find out.
Yeah.
I don't get who's failing blood tests. Like, Lanistia, Emissa said, Lanistia's not a Yunkti, she's been tested and she passed the test. And then not 2 minutes later, Emissa was like, but I can help you pass the test, so don't worry about it. We can cheat. So how do we know that Lanistia didn't cheat? Who is actually failing blood tests? Are they doing blood? Is there any point in them doing these blood tests? Or do people know, do the Yunkti know that they can just cheat?
Yeah, there's something really weird about it, because I'm guessing that not many people know that if they give the will to somebody else, then that won't trigger this test.
But why? Why does it not trigger the test? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, something about the blood, but why the blood is connected with the will? Is it
And
because
why
the will is just like enhancing whatever they can find in the blood?
is it because Yunkti can't seed their will because they're dead?
Well, this is the strange part, because apparently when Emissa was saying that she thought that this was one of them, was because the blood that was in her like onyx
Knife. Yeah.
It was like reacting. I still don't know exactly how it reacted, like start jumping, change color, or how they know there's reacting, but it does something. There's something like pretty obvious. But normally for this test, it's like in a plate. So they put maybe a little bit in a plate,
It's
and then they're just
obsidian.
observing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing feels a bit weird to me. And the fact that she's like, no, don't worry, Lanistia's definitely not in a Yunkti.
Yeah.
But then she was like, but I can make you pass the test as well.
So how does she know that?
How does she know
that
that
Lanistia didn't do
Yeah,
the
it
same?
doesn't make sense. And then my other question is, she made a real big point of making it like there's a Yunkti all around us. There's people in disguise. I wonder who.
It will be like plot twist if I her one of them, but they can't will and she can, isn't it?
But can they? We don't know anything about them, really.
Technically, they're dead. So I
Do
don't
they
know
have
if,
any will? Trying to guess, and that's a bit of a segue into the will of the maybe, but who's your number one guess of who isn't a Yunkti?
I don't think we have seen any at the moment. I think it will be later on that we'll see a new character coming. And
Who would be the biggest twist?
Relucia? You said that she might come from Lucium. Maybe she is one of them.
Yeah, but they're not a Yunkti in Lucium. The Yunkti are from
No, but
Lucium.
somebody from the other realm.
I was thinking about, I don't know, could one of the other students be a Yunkti? Because they wouldn't have to use will in the academy. It's a perfect place to hide.
Yeah. Indol.
Iro, the weird one.
Yeah.
Or-
Equa.
Oh, no. No, it can't be Equa. Can't be Equa. She's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's that. I said this. Like, she's the Hermione of the group.
Yeah.
Right, isn't she? Okay. So, like a slight segue into the will of the maybe, the part of the show where we lock in our predictions for the rest of the book in the hopes that we get at least something right by the end of the series. So it could be this book, could be next book, could be even just something that James Islington says in an interview. But let's lock in the predictions. So we have the part where Relucia and Vis go and visit Lanistia in the prison. And Relucia is looking at this woman in the cell, and it looks like she's whispering stuff to her.
Yeah.
And Vis says, that's weird. It looks like she knows her. But they wouldn't have the Anguis in here. This is not really a high security. This is just a temporary place.
Yeah.
So it can't be someone in the Anguis. I don't think she knows her. My immediate thought was that she has been in a Sapper herself, because it felt like she was giving her tips. It felt like she was whispering stuff like, just breathe or take your mind somewhere else. It'll all be over soon. It was like a reassuring thing. I have a feeling that Relucia has previously been in a Sapper.
Yes. For me, my first thought was that she knew this woman. Maybe she wasn't an Angus, but was somebody that was close to Relucia. But when you say that, I was like, that actually makes more sense. That maybe it's something that she knows very well, and something that we learned from the beginning is the people who are in the Sappers, they are conscious. They know what's going on around. So this woman, the Sapper, she probably is listening to Relucia.
Yeah, the thing with the fact that, like, the thing that made me think that it wasn't somebody she knew was that if it was someone she knew, she is tenacious, she is tough. She would be trying to get them out. She's got contacts. She can move. We know that she's moved people around prisons because they moved the prisoner from Caten, I think, to the what is the place called where he started? The prison that Vis used to work in.
Letan.
Yeah, Letan's. She moved someone, so they've got massive contacts. They know how to do stuff. She'd be getting that woman out if she knew her. But the fact that she had tears in her eyes, it felt more like trauma than the fact that she knew her. I think if she knew the woman wouldn't even be there because she's got these contacts. The only reason she can't get Lanistia out is because it will put military in the shit. They're already putting themselves in the shit, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that she's been in a Sapper, and we'll find out maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe we won't. I don't know.
Yeah, I really like that.
Anything from you? Next.
Yes, so I think that in the next chapter that we're going to read for the next episode, we're going to meet this car.
Do you think in this one?
Yes, so I think we're going to finally see who is going to be this guy, or he will be present. I don't know if I will see the face, I don't know if I will hear the voice, but it's going to be close to this. It will be cool if we find out exactly who this guy is, and the rest of the book is going to be like maybe this trying to figure out what to do. if I his dad, like I need to kill him because it looks like my dad, sounds like my dad, but it's not my dad, and he's doing really bad things. But it's my daddy. I don't want to kill him.
I feel like it's not going to be in this group of chapters. Should we do that thing where you guess one thing and I guess the other, and then one of us is definitely right, and we can be like, "Oh, look how many things we get right."
Yes, win-win.
No, I think it's going to be later in the book. I think there's going to be a big bombshell at the end.
Well, he's going inside the pyramid in the next chapters.
Yeah, but Car's not just going to be like casually hanging out at the door, is he? This pyramid's massive. Car's going to be
But
top.
Car is the one who is making these Gleaners, and then so he must be like involved in the process on how.
They're the minions. I think, and this is just a brand new theory off the top of my head, so go with me here. I think the storyline for Iudicium is going to be Rez pretending to be a Iuncti, and I think he's going to get stabbed with a obsidian blade.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to have to somehow heal himself. He's going to have to pretend to be Iuncti, isn't he?
Yeah.
And how is he going to pretend? Well, he's going to have to maybe... You know how, like, when Harry, Ron and Hermione break into Gringotts Bank in Harry Potter 7, there's going to be some spoilers. Yeah, they're going to have to... He's going to have to Imperius curse the people that spot him and make them believe that he is a Iuncti. And he's going to be able to do that. He's going to be able to start controlling people without using the obsidian blade.
Yeah.
So... yeah, he's going to have to do his equivalent of the Imperius curse. Every time someone figures out he's not a Iuncti, he's going to have to take over them and make them do something that helps him.
Yeah.
Then he's going to be controlling all these Iuncti like Car, and then Car will come and find him. I don't think it will happen in the next few chapters, though. I think it's too big a mystery to close before the middle of the book.
I think just revealing the character who is this Car doesn't change that much, or maybe it will increase the pace, or it will make things more tense.
Maybe.
So yeah, let's go for. I would say
One
yeah,
of
you say no.
us, yeah, one of us will be right.
If Fantasy will be right.
Yeah, exactly. Right. For me, the next one would be that I think Lani is Iuncti. I think, yes, she passed the test, but we literally know she can cheat. So I think she's a Iuncti.
I think she has to be, because otherwise, why she had this episode when she was telling to Viz complete the Journey Warrior, because obviously she's still connected to all this other stuff. So I think she did exactly the same that Viz did to cheat in this test and make it look like she is just human.
But she doesn't know. That's the only thing. She doesn't know she's a Iuncti, I don't think. But the fact that she is able to seed will, don't know. We'll find out, but I think she's a Iuncti.
Yes. And for me, another thing that I'm hoping is going to happen in these episodes as well is that Viz is going to finally speak to Viridius, and then we're going to have a little bit more of details about what's going on, what he's doing there, and exactly what is his mission, like trying to stop the cataclysm. Yeah,
I think this book is going to be, or the Rez part is going to be like a fact-finding mission. So I think first he'll go see Viridius. Viridius doesn't know everything, and we know that because Aidin said that he's desperately trying to get some information out of him.
Yeah.
I think we will also go and see Aidin's dad at some point.
Yes.
Because Aidin is like, if I ever see next time I have to see him, I'll try and find out. I think we will see him.
Yeah, we had a few people to say in these chapters. We had Viridius, we had Aidin's father, we had this prisoner from the Iudicium. So many people and so many information that we can get. Yeah, that was my next theory, was that we would also see they'll go see the prisoner from the Anguis. Yeah. So my next theory is that I think once Viz is inside this pyramid, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, but his pet Gleaner will be there to save his life. So he's going to be controlling this Gleaner, and it will come the moment that thanks to this Gleaner, because he's gonna be maybe attacking another Gleaners to defend this, is gonna be the one who's going to make the difference for him. At least I think this sounds like really cool. He's using the Gleaners to attack each other.
I just had a thought. I wondered if somebody who was in the rebels, because loads of them died, wonder if those bodies will all go back too, and it'll be one of them that saves them.
Yeah.
As an Ayuncti, like maybe Nofret.
Okay.
She's the one that seems to have taken an interest in Vis.
Yeah.
But yeah, like nice theory, pet Gleaner. Right. This is an obvious one, but something major's going down at the Festival of Platuna in 5 months' time. I have a feeling that will be the end of the book. I feel like this major thing is going to happen at the Festival of Platuna because Scarface tells him he's got to be there. Be there or be square.
Yes, I'm thinking that we're going to have another moment like we had with Esteban when there's a lot of people.
And now
then,
Makia.
shit going to hit the fan.
Yeah, I desperately need to know more about Scarface. He can just like appear, and it feels like he's synchronous, which like he's probably still my number one guess for Car.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm still thinking the Car is gonna be even more powerful than this guy, but this guy knows a lot and start to be like a teacher for Vis. Somebody like
why would he
guide.
teach him if he was Car?
Yeah.
Great point.
Okay.
Next.
So this couldn't be the will of the maybe if I don't say that somebody's going to die. And I think my next one on the list is going to be Zero. And I think he will die in some point and he will hold maybe some relevant information that Vis really needs. And then he's going to use his will to bring him back. So this is how I start to see that maybe it's going to happen. Something that Vis doesn't want to do, but he has to do it and modify to make sure that Zero doesn't die in vain.
I just had a thought.
Well,
Vitarium can keep bodies fresh, right? Because we know that Ulkiskor's uncle is there.
Yeah.
What if there's somebody like in a Vitarium who could be brought back as an Ayuncti later?
Yeah, it could happen, isn't it?
Couldn't it? And who might have plenty of money to have a Vitarium? Tertius Iridius? What if Calidus comes? Because Daddy Daddy Diego, what's his name again?
I
literally said his Cristobal.
Yeah.
Said she would see Calidus again.
Mm-hmm.
What if we see Calidus as an Ayuncti? That would be awful. I'm smiling because it would be really, really good, but it would be awful. Anyway, that could happen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see maybe the need to bring back Calidus as a zombie, basically.
It would be really awful, but it would also be good. I just want to see Calidus. I don't care if he's a zombie or not.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll see him, but he's going to be
says they're capable of acting themselves.
Interesting. What about you? More theories?
You don't think Calidus ran the labyrinth and synchronized, do you? And that's why he decided to go back down to...
He was third class, so...
And then he was like, people die. Like, he's seen loads of stuff. And he was really good at the labyrinth when he was training with Vis.
Yes. It could be, but he didn't say anything to Vis. But I'm not sure if he knew that Vis knew about the labyrinth.
Yeah, and how would he have gotten away from Solovargus without Sea-Raw? Like, this is the big thing as well, isn't it? With unless he did it beforehand. Yeah, I don't know. And also, he kind of told Vis everything. So he would have just told Vis, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking myself out of it. But I do want some more unhinged theories. Yeah, again, just think we've had loads of hints that Vis's dad is a really important character and that he's not dead everywhere. I do think he's dead in Seuss. In Res, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me not think that he's Car, but for some reason I'm just getting the vibes that he's linked to Lucium. I don't know. I know that we're going to see him again, though. That's my half-baked theory.
Okay. For me, my last theory is that this will be the new King's Champion in Lucium. Once he defeats this guy that is challenging, I think for the king, it would be logical to think that if this guy was be able to defeat my champion, that he shouldn't be now my champion.
Yeah, like Selena Sardot. Oh, big spoiler. Oh, never mind. You either know it or you don't, like Selena. Why do you think they're sending him to this lock? That was another thing. That was what made me think of Celtic, Scottish, and that kind of place, because they called it Loch something. The place that he's going is a lock. Why do you think he's going there? Do you think it's protection? Do you think it's to meet the sky?
No idea. I still not getting clear exactly what's going on. I think
because that's where the person that he knows is going to be, and this is where I think it's his dad. Or the only other thing is it could be Scarface. But I feel like Scarface can just move around, so why couldn't he just come to him?
I don't know if he can move between realms. Obviously, he can move between a space.
No, but we think he is synchronous, right?
Right. You mean that version from Lucium? Okay. Yeah.
We don't know enough. And you know what? I get this like really weird fight. I just get this feeling that we're actually not going to find out. We're not going to find out in the strength of the few. And you don't want everything to be wrapped up. I want to be able to talk, because we're going to have a while to wait for the Justice of the One. And I want to be able to talk all these theories. I want to be able to read it again and again and just like figure stuff out, but not have everything wrapped up. And I'm pretty sure it won't be.
And definitely we will have some answers, but then more questions will be there for the next book.
Yeah. And my last theory this week is, I already talked about it, but I think we know about the will in Iudicium used to restore and basically just reinvigorate. The will from Res is used to build and grow and conquer. Feel like the will in Lucium, I don't know what it's used for, but I think it's this adoption thing. I think it's hang on, they can see, can't they? Isn't it like the will is being used because they meditate and then they get black eyes and they can see things. They can
It's like more spiritual.
Yeah.
Like less physical, because Res is like more physical. Make you faster, make you stronger. But then maybe in Lucium, maybe make you like wiser or more like, aware about what is around you.
Yeah. And it feels like it can just be taken from the air around them.
Yeah.
And for the first time this series, we can do a segment on raising the dead languages. And this is from the previous series where we translated some of the names and places and objects. We've only got a couple this week, but it's nice to bring it back. So we got Lanistia's surname, Scipio.
Yes.
Which means in Latin, staff, as in employee. Because I got really excited when I saw staff, and I thought the kind of, the stick that they used to fight with in Lucium. And I was like, ooh, what's that? But actually it's like employee, which makes me think even more that she's like some kind of employee drone of Car.
Spy. Somebody that's working.
Yeah, but has forgotten. Yeah, a staff member, like employee.
Yeah.
And then Livia is another word for light. Oh. They must have had so many words for light.
That's interesting. Another light.
Light hedgehog. We have clever hedgehog, light hedgehog, and I don't know what his dad's called. So next week, let's take a look at the chapters that we're going to cover.
So for next week, we're going to read chapters 25 to 37.
Let's finally go sapping for secrets, the part of the show where we pose ourselves a question and sap deep into our will for the answers. Unlike our main man Vis, we are not immune to the sapper. There's no dodging, no scheming, just the truth. So last week we asked, Vis is split into 3 versions when he made it through the labyrinth, each developing differently based on their experiences. What is the one most pivotal moment in your life that would have had the biggest impact if you branched off to 3 different versions of yourself?
Well, for me, I think was the moment when I decided I wanted to be an air traffic controller in Spain. Because that was something that I really want to change with my life. Something that it will force me to travel or to just do something to change my life. Because at that point, I wanted like a life-changing thing. And it did really change, but not in the direction that I was expecting at that moment. So I'm thinking that in some another realm, another universe, there will be a part of me that's working as a air traffic controller, maybe still in Spain or maybe in another country in Europe.
Mm-hmm. It did lead to a lot of changes. That was the only reason you wanted to learn English. For me, it was probably, I was in like a very long relationship before when I was very, very young. Mm-hmm. And I was engaged to this person and like making the decision that that wasn't what I wanted. And that had like a big change because it meant that I treated my job differently. I like was basically going to be forced, like not forced, but like settled down. And
yeah, if you get the mindset that you won't get maybe somebody better for you or this kind of stuff.
like my best friend. She was like, you have to say yes because you might not get a better offer. Worst advice ever. Yeah, probably that. So this week, if you couldn't have arms but you had to have some kind of tool instead, like a sword, what would you choose? Like totally different, like down a different tact for this week.
Yeah.
Last week's was quite a like dig deep into your history and like think about how your life could be different. This is like if you could have different tools for arms, what would you choose?
Okay. I'm sure we're going to get some interesting answers for this one.
Yeah.
Unless I will.
Okay, so like if you were a human Swiss Army knife, you could have a different one for each arm.
What would be the most useful thing for you?
Yeah, this is going to be fun. And that is all, sadly, that we've got time for this week. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Faithfully Fantasy Pod. Come and join the conversation. We're also really trying to build our community on YouTube. So whether you're listening or watching, come and give us a subscribe over on YouTube. It would really help us out. If you've got any thoughts, theories, obviously spoiler free, then come and comment on either our videos or our content on Instagram or TikTok.
Also, a quick reminder, if you love the show and want even more, we got our supporters options at faithfullyfantasy.com. You get bonus episodes, early access, and you'll be helping the podcast grow. And with this, we have just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things the strength of the few.
We'll see you next week for our read-along of chapters 25 to 37, and of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye!